Hello, everyone. Welcome to Abnormal Investigations, guys. It is crazy tonight. I got my hair comb over here. We've been fishing. I have been standing out in the middle of flooded, running water against my mom's better judgment. I waded out into the currents tonight to try to catch fish. And wait till you see the footage. It comes out on Wide Open Adventures. It was amazing. I will tell Jesse a little bit more about that whenever she comes on, also, because I'm telling you, the video footage I'm going to have, what we done tonight, and Mr. Logan was out there with us. He had his fishing pole ready for that big bite. He was ready. We're going to go back in the morning, and we're going to go back out there and do a little fishing early morning before sun up, because we got a little bit of a ways to travel. That's the good thing about not living in the city. That's one of the things I like, is having my outdoor activity. I have to have that. I have to tease Jessie a little bit. She's one of them northern people that, they say they go fishing, but I'm not sure. I think they make more mud angels than they do fishing. So I'm not real sure. She's telling me I'm number one right now. And so she already knows. Everybody knows, this is number one channel tonight. So at least she knows what channel she's on tonight. So that's a good thing. Michael, I haven't yet. We are going to go back in the morning. I anticipate we will catch a lot tomorrow. So check that video out over on Wide Open Adventures. I don't know if I can't pop the link up. I don't have it with me tonight. But go over and check that channel out. I'm telling you, it's really good. I'm going to go ahead and before I get any further into this, I'm going to go ahead and throw Jessie in there so at least she can defend herself just a little bit.
Wow, you're actually offering me the opportunity to defend myself tonight.
Well, everybody deserves a chance. A broken clock strikes twice a day. So.
Yeah. I fish up here. I fish up here quite a bit, actually. Actually, tomorrow is opening season for trout and salmon. So.
Well, here in Oklahoma, we don't have an opening season for our fish. We just go catch them when they're biting. Guess where I catch them at today? Guess where I caught them at today? In the mouth.
Off the road.
In the water.
Well, I guess that's better than hooking them in the tail fin or something.
Oh, let me tell you what. Everybody on Wide Open Adventures is going to get a great video. I got some footage today that is absolutely amazing. The river is rising so fast right now that I was actually half a mile off the river, and it is running through the trees so hard. It sounds like wind blowing, and there's currents through the trees that's just like destroying everything. And I waded out in it and fished. They were biting good, but they were breaking me off because every time I was get one, they were large. You'll see it in the video how large they were. You can see my pole bend almost completely over when I was hooking them. But it's so much flood water that they have so much to run and get under that they were breaking me off because there's so much debris. But yeah, we're going back tomorrow. We're going to go to a little better place. But the footage, I'm just know it's going to be beautiful because it's all in the trees. The water's like white water and on the sides of them. The river's coming up. I mean, it's beautiful. It's really pretty down there.
Nice.
Yeah, it was really nice. Ready to go back. We're going back early in the morning. We're going to pack some food, I think, and plan on staying the day, spending the day.
That's good. Yeah. Sounds like fun.
Yeah, I'm going to take Logan down there and teach him how to swim in swift water. No. But no, he wanted to get out there so bad he couldn't stand it. He cannot stand for me to walk out there and catch fish and him not to be able to. So it wasn't no fun for him because he was getting mad. He was like, that ain't no fair. He gets to go out there and catch the fish and I can't catch no fish. So yeah. That's okay though. I'm the bigger kid. I'm allowed to.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was fun though. I needed that. Wide Open Adventures is the channel that I need to relax and get a break from the reality of the world. We actually go out and try to have fun. So, guess we'll do roll call real quick. We got Michelle McGuire, Belinda's in here, Drew's in here, Silver Bullet's in here moderating, Belinda's moderating, Vanette Williams is in here, Silver Bullet is in here. I think I said that. Dana Affliction, Beverly Yates, Lisa, Dana Affliction. Good to see you guys. I'm sure there's a lot of other people in here. Oh God, there's AI Mod is in here. Everybody better be good or you will be banned. 6 million minutes. What, Mom? Did she? Mom said she's already got her first victim.
Oh, she is on it.
Quick Draw McGraw right there. That's what we're going to name her. Quick Draw AI Mod. Do what? Yeah, Mom said they needed it. I'm wearing my earpiece, so when she yells at me, I have to pull my earpiece off to hear her. All I can hear her go, it sounds like this with my earpiece on. I kind of like earpieces and I kind of don't. Everybody says they can hear me better with them though, so. And it works better for Spotify whenever I drop, videos to Spotify, which this one's not going to go on Spotify right now because some technical issues, unfortunately.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Technical issues on Spotify? That's not good.
Not with Spotify.
Oh.
With StreamYard.
Oh.
Yeah. Romans 1:16 is in the house. Hello, Romans. It's nice to see you tonight. Up in them Appalachian Mountains that she was bragging about earlier. There's Mr. Keith Blunt in the house. Howdy, and good to see you, sir. There's Laura England is showing up. She says, hello, Abnormal family. Good to see you, Laura. And Miss Sharon Arms is in here. I know she's here to cause trouble. And then we got Norma Napier's here. Michelle McGuire. We call her the wind of all four directions. Dana Affliction. Of course, I think I said her. Yeah. Belinda Kruger. Good to see you. Yeah, Michelle, you crack me up at times. You never cease to amaze me with your comments. Sometimes I have to ignore her, or I'll bust out laughing during something serious, and then I get chewed out for it. So everybody's like, why was you laughing when the cat was getting ate? That wasn't funny. Like, if you knew how many things I was looking at and listening to at the same time. Hello, Romans.
That's very true.
AI Nanny Pam. Good to see you, AI Nanny Pam. It's been a
while.
while.
Nanny Pam.
Guys, tonight we have a pretty unique story. I think, well, we're just going to start kicking off the announcements tonight. First, I would like to start off with the prayers for the people that I noticed right off the top of my head. We would like prayers for Connie, and I'd like to ask for prayers for Letitia Barton's wife. I know that she was needing prayers. So I want to ask for prayers for them. And is there anybody else you can remember that needs prayers?
Lisa Ann's sister needs prayers.
Lisa Ann's sister needs. Oh, Sharon's granddaughter needs prayers.
Sharon's granddaughter and
who, Mom?
Lisa
Ann. Okay, yeah, we got Lisa Ann.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to ask for prayers tonight also for a friend of mine that I just found out. It happened a little while back, but not long. He lost his life. He was a father and a husband, and his time was cut short too soon. Really good friend, known him since kids. We were kids. We went to school together. And he lost his life tragically and unexpectedly. And he does have little ones. So I'd like to keep him in everybody's prayers and his family and his children.
Mm-hmm.
Sad ordeal. Way too young, way too dumb to lose somebody's life like that. So I guess we got a few things to talk about tonight. The vampire thing that's coming up, guys. Oh my god. It's going to come with a disclaimer and a warning on it, and educational purposes only. It's dark. I'm not going to lie. It is going to be a dark subject, and it's going to be controversial. And we'll get more into that as we get closer to it. I was in for a big surprise today whenever I took that encounter on that phone call. That was very different than what I'm used to listening to, I guess. Uh, we do have a Patreon video that we are working on right now that we are going to be releasing. This one's took us a little longer to get it together because we're really digging deep. It went even deeper than what I thought, and unfortunately, it's going to have to be a part one and part two because there is no way I can do everything that I want to do with this video. We're going to be going deep down the rabbit hole, if you will. Not only on, can we say what it is? You think it's okay to go into that?
Sure. You're not
We're going to be
saying, I mean,
we're,
yeah,
we're, we're going to be discussing the Vatican, some of their rituals, some of the things that's gone on, and some of the things inside, and some of the things that even coincided with the death of Pope Francis that he done right before he became ill and ended up passing away, and what was happening while he was actually on his deathbed. We're going to look at some of the rituals that go on. We're going to. It's not an attack on Catholics at all. It is just totally uh, based on evidence. It's a you make your own decision. We're just going to put it out there. We're just going to show it to you. But as you go further down that rabbit hole, the reason there's going to have to be a part two is because it runs into the Masons. And that will be the part two, is how they are connected, and the Illuminati, and how it all coincides. And yeah, it goes really deep. So that should be a really, really good. Hello, you're scared, Jody. That would be a really, really good one. I think it's going to be a good. It takes a lot of work to put these out. What a lot of you don't know is we have to research it, the material. Not only do we have to find it, we have to put it in a format to where we're able to use it, and also we have to be able to get the videos uploaded, and we have to do them a certain way so we don't get strikes for copyright and stuff like that. So it takes a lot of work to produce those videos. I would love to be able to drop those videos. There's no way I'll lose my channel. If I dropped any of the videos we
right.
have on Patreon right now, my channel would be gone. I get 3 strikes in one video. They would delete my channel permanently. So if you want to see any of those, or you want to see the extra content, extra videos, you want some of the extra photos we find, we put all of that in the Patreon, and that way you can go access it. You can also contact us, and we're thinking about doing some Patreon only lives. That's some things because we can go deeper there. We can talk deeper there. We can express more of our opinions there without, I guess, the censorship that we would face here with the strikes. I only get 3 strikes, and any channel's deleted permanently. So we want to make sure we don't violate YouTube's guidelines. We want to stay within their guidelines, respect them. That's their rules, and we're on their platform. So we want to respect YouTube,
Mhm.
and they have it for a reason. So we're going to respect it, and we will. And that's what Patreon's for. That's why it's there. Hello, Wolf Lady. Good to see you. Ow! But yeah, we are. We want to respect everybody. But yeah, there's a lot of things I found. There's some arguments in there. There's an argument that people say that there's actually no proof that St. Peter was crucified upside down, is one of the stances that the Vatican has, which is heavily disputed by historical records. So, but there's a lot of historical records that contradict what the Vatican done. And the
Right.
Pope, before he died, he changed some things that will explain why he was yelling what he was yelling on his deathbed. and we'll get more into that when we drop the Patreon. So, uh, you're exactly right, Romans. Man, I love Tom Horn's work. Yeah, he done some good stuff. Another person that done some good stuff was and I go blank. What's the guy's name that done the Passion of the Christ?
The
Mel
director,
Gib- Mel Gibson.
Mel Gibson.
He is really done some work that's really interesting. Also, of
Mm-hmm.
course, he's had trouble getting his movies out ever since he done it. Nobody wants to publish his movies. I mean, you go against the
Seems
you're right,
to.
the wolf lady. Michelle McGuire, she says Marzulli, L.A. Marzulli. I know who you're talking about. I'm going to reach out to L.A. Marzulli because I do want to have him on the show. I have some questions for him. Um, I want to kind of see what his stance are on some things
Hmm.
and kind of see what he has to say about some things because I'm kind of confused by some of the things he's saying and what he's doing. So I do have some questions for him, some biblical questions that uh, go back to the Bible and to see, what his perception and beliefs are on that and of where he stands. Be a very interesting show. Jesse should really flower in that show. She likes him kind. And then uh, tomorrow night we're going to have a live. I am going to be talking to a person that had a encounter on Bray Road. They have never released this encounter. They didn't want to release it. I had to promise them that I would not release their name. They wanted to remain anonymous. They had a friend that lived on this road. And man, let me tell you, they said there is far more to the story of the Bray Road werewolf than just the werewolf. And what they experienced, she said, goes far outside of just seeing a beast on the road or running down the ditch. So she gave me the full encounter that she had and her friend. I'm supposed to talk to her friend tomorrow. Her friend's name is Doris. I will be talking to her, and she's going to give me her side of it, and we're going to air that tomorrow night, guys. If I get back from fishing in time, should be back in time. But the plan is to air that out tomorrow. Um, Let me tell you, the Bray Road is not just a werewolf. I'm sure Jesse already knows, but it's a
I've been saying that.
whole lot of other things.
Yes.
So we're going to go down that rabbit hole. And then Saturday will be boots on the ground. We're going to be going back into the floodwater on Saturday. And my moderators ignore the Sunday boots on the ground. That was a mistake on my part. I'll change it later. It's going to be Saturday because Sunday, I believe, the family is going to kick back and we are going to go fishing and have a family day. So Saturday, we're going to do the boots on the ground. And I think we're going to start taking Sundays off, guys. I really do. I think we all need Sundays off. I think that should be a day that we can relax, enjoy our family, and take a break. So I think that's just about all I have before we jump into this vampire. I'm not even going to call this. It's an encounter slash induction,
Hmm.
becoming
Uh,
a vampire.
Christy, Randy is out of commission at the moment. He's still having issues with the internet and with the bad weather and such. So
Yeah, he was hit
prayers for Randy
really
too.
hard. He was hit really, really hard.
Yeah.
I mean, his
Yeah. It seems
car
like
was
he gets
actually
the internet.
underwater.
Yeah. He gets internet and electricity up. The next thing you know, it's back down again. So
Right.
yeah, the weather really
Yeah,
stinks by him.
his car was so in bad they had to dig it out, like actually dig his car out.
Mm.
Laura says she needs a boat. Laura, I hear you. We need a boat up here too. But I'd be fishing. I'd be fishing down the roads. And CRJ is late again, as usual. But at least she made it.
Yeah.
I
No,
haven't
Wolf
seen it.
Lady. That is not the same person. No,
What's
Wolf
wrong?
Lady. I still have to reach out to her. Wolf Lady told me about somebody that I needed to talk to up here um, at Bray Road. She just asked if that was
Oh,
the same one. No, it's not.
you got to watch that wolf lady. I don't know about her.
You are sassy
Yeah, we
tonight.
we miss we do miss Randy. Yeah, wish Randy was able to join us tonight. Go ahead. I guess I'll go ahead and tell y'all. Okay, chat, my subscribers, the abnormal family. I have a question for you since this is your channel also. I am working on possibly trying to get a 4 panel team to where our discussions can open up larger. If y'all would like to see a panel to where we can, have discussions more deep, discussions and stuff, it would be me, Jesse, Randy, and then another person. And then when Jesse could, because Jesse's getting ready to be busy. So, would y'all like to see that? If you'd like to see that, drop a 1 or drop a 2 if you wouldn't. But I think a larger panel may be better for us to have a more in-depth conversation on some of these and more opinions. Just whatever y'all think, though. I mean, it's part of you guys too, so I wanted to put that out there to you. Not everybody at once. Hey, there's OCST, first one on the board. There's Amy Tongue says a panel would be good. Belinda says she'll take a 1 or a 2. AI Mod says 1 as long as it's not me. I know you're walking out on me, AI Mod. Beverly says 1. Yeah. Well, Jess, I mean, look how smart I am. I told you, a larger panel. That's where it's at. Look at that. Look at the ones. Just look at that. Just look
Yeah.
at it. Just look at it. Just look at it. Yeah, I mean, and I agree. I think a larger panel is better. It causes larger conversation. Look at that. There's still
Yep.
ones coming. You getting that right? You screenshotting that so you can look at it
Oh,
later.
I'm getting it. I got it. I got it.
Right. And CRJ looks like she's already been trained. She said whatever Harold says goes. So that's right. Harold, you got it down, man. Nancy says more. Everybody wants more. Everybody's telling me they want more lives. I don't know how I could do any more lives than what we're doing right now. What I can tell y'all is y'all have really been on me. Mike, I don't know. You didn't look good enough. What is she talking about? Michelle McGuire. Mike, I don't know. You didn't look good enough.
I don't know.
I have no idea. Michelle, you're going to have to break that down for me. What was I saying before that? Michelle, it's Michelle's fault. She got me. Uh,
Squirrel.
oh, rotating panel, Roman says. Yeah, Romans, you could come on. You want to be a co host, Romans? We could throw you a link and bring you on. What was I going to say, though?
I think
Oh,
that would actually be
a lot of,
interesting.
yeah,
Have a
and a lot
rotating
of you have been
panel.
on me saying, Mike, when you asked one. Oh, okay. uh, a lot of y'all have been on me about why don't you do the actual investigations like you used to, the encounters and break down the police reports and all that because you was an investigator, you know what they were and everything. And I enjoy doing those, guys. I really do. That's what I really like to do. Behind the scenes, there's so much you all don't see that I'm having to do. A lot of it involves like attorneys and legal things and things of that nature that take up a lot of my time because there's things that are planned to happen in the future after things happen in the near future, and there's just a lot of planning and money and a lot of stuff involved. I can't go into it right now. I'm not allowed to even talk about the future plans of the legal, but um, the one thing that I can say is I'm working on an encounter for you guys right now, and it does involve a child, and it does involve a, I believe, cover up. And I'm going to break it all down for you guys. I'll let you know when it's done, and we'll have a night, and I will do it. So, oh, Ramen said she would consider it. We could bring her on tonight and give her a test run, couldn't we?
Yeah, if she wants.
Can you drop
What
her
do you
that
say,
link? Or
Romans?
you? Yeah, if she wants to,
Yeah,
we'll
I
drop
can.
her the link. Uh,
You just drop it in chat.
if she wants to, we'll make sure she wants to, so we don't just put it out there because we're so damn popular, man. The backstage will just pack up. Um, but yeah, I think what we'll do is break it down, and then we will have a show over it. Probably, maybe you should have a rotating panel with people that have experience and the experience of the subject. Beverly H. That's a very good idea too. What you have to be careful with on that, Beverly, again, is it's good to have people that have experience as boots on the ground that are out there that are experiencing it and everything, but you don't want somebody on there that is a expert. Oh, and we have a special guest that has said yes to coming on our show. I can't say his name yet, but
Oh,
we are working on a finalization of the dates, and he will be coming on. And Jesse knows about his work more than I do, and she says it's going to be a good show. He has a lot of knowledge, and he's a well-known name in the community, so should be a very good show. I mean, I sent him a message, and I was happy that he said yes, so
mm-hmm.
he will be
Yeah,
coming on.
he doesn't like to do a whole lot of shows. He's very particular, so very
He was
good.
very honest about that too. He doesn't do
Mm-hmm.
a lot of shows, and I thought that was going to be a thanks for asking, but no thank you. And he's like, "Hey, yeah, sure, shoot me some dates. Let's get it done." And of course, you know we are abnormal investigations, but
We are
no.
abnormal.
Did Romans ever say if she wanted to come on tonight?
I didn't see her. She
She
just
probably
said
ran to
would consider it.
she probably ran to the bathroom like fixing her hair.
Oh, can't just spring it on me. Need to have a little warning.
If you would like
Okay.
to come on tonight, Romans, if you wanted to, you don't have to show yourself. That is
Yeah,
an
that's
option
true.
you have. You don't have to show yourself. You can come on just as a little black box that talks. So a lot of people don't like to show themselves the first time. It took Randy a while to
Although,
work himself up to it.
she probably would have to set up StreamYard anyway, so maybe,
Oh
yeah,
yeah, and
next time we
OCST,
try it out.
OCST's right. He says experts
Mm,
gotta love them.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know one of them wears an actual band around his stomach just to make you not look fat and keeps his gun in the back of it and screams at the woods. And he's an expert. So you got to be careful of the experts you bring on your show because they may be an expert in their own world. So
Yeah.
I think that's important.
Ah, my cat is
Yeah,
really
me.
just working my nerves today.
CRJ doesn't like to be on camera. You don't have a choice. Harold tells you to do it. You do it. Hey, Tyler 420. Good to see you, man. Okay, so what we're going to talk about tonight has to have a disclaimer. It has to have. Okay, I'm going to put it to you like this because I know this is going to be a little contradiction. You know, it's going to cause some problems. Not necessarily with you guys, but in the vampire world. Kind of like it did the witches when I talked about them and they all wanted to cook me in a pot and turn me to a frog. This is probably not going to go over real well with them. So, but no, this is not an attack on vampire people. This is just what I would like to say is what I'm going to talk about tonight, and I'll let Jessie before we start. She can have her piece, but what I'm going to say tonight on behalf of Abnormal Investigations and myself is what we are going to talk about tonight may not be my views or my opinions or my beliefs. It is merely information that I received during an investigation, and it will be laid out as an investigation. I'm doing what I done when I worked as an investigator. I have taken my personal opinions and my personal feelings out of it, and I was an investigator when I took it. So I will give you the pure facts as I received them, and you will make up your own mind as to if you believe them or not. I am not going to say that this encounter is true as in the nature of things that happened. I believe it's true that he might have went and done these things, but I don't know that the supernatural part of this would be true. And I'm not saying that it's not true or it is true. I'm just saying I am going to lay out the facts for you. It is dark, and there's some things in here that will be a little bit frustrating. I ask that you remain, as always, and as always we do, professional in our comments. Totally natural to disagree. Express your opinions. And just do it as adults and no personal attacks. That's what I would ask, is that we do it professionally. You guys always do, but I just want to put that out there in case we have any new people. If you have not subscribed to the channel, I'd like to invite you to subscribe, ring the bell, select all. But y'all have asked me to do more of this kind of stuff, so we are going to jump into it. But it had to be done, I believe, with an explanation before we jumped into it. Because if I don't, people are going to say that's what Mike believes or that's what Mike thinks. And no, Mike is giving you the facts as he received them as an investigator. So, Jesse, before we start this journey,
I don't know what to say. Yes, I agree. I know nothing. I don't know. I'm ready for this. I don't know. Yeah. Hey, how's it going? Hi, Pink Pixie. Welcome.
all right,
Don't put me on the
guys,
spot like
here we
that. I
go.
don't
So, what
want.
we're
I
going to
don't
be
want any
talking.
vampires coming after me. So.
Well, I don't think you're going to have a choice after tonight. After we get into this one,
No.
because we are going to take some breaks for some opinions and discussions. So everybody likes these; they love these. So let's see how much
Christy says,
trouble we
"Get
can
on
get
with
in.
the story."
Christy, I'm telling a story. Okay, I'm doing it. I am telling stories right now. Okay, that's all everybody ever says is tell a story. Tell a story. But I still love you. I'm not going to ban you. Like somebody else would. Get him out of here. Get him out of here.
AI
Just
Mod's
get
job.
him out of here. Okay, so here we go. This individual that I spoke with today, of course, is going to remain anonymous, and I understand why. Michelle, I'm doing it. Okay, I had to squeeze one out. I had to fart, but we're going to get it out. She'll enjoy that.
Oh goodness. Yeah.
He said, I'll admit, based on the title and of everything that I am sharing with you tonight, Mike, I understand that this will be shared amongst your audience and amongst your viewers. This is going to be a very controversial subject, probably one that most of your people are not used to. It's probably one that they believe is only a fiction, but I assure you, none of this is fiction. It is as real as the person you see at the grocery store, and it's just as dangerous as a man that is in prison behind locked doors.
Mm.
He says, I admit, based on the title, that everyone now, I'm sure you have already shared with, that the topic tonight is going to be about vampires. And one may think that this story would be fictional. But he said, I assure you that it's a true account of my own life, of things I have experienced personally that I can speak about, that I have seen and lived with my own life. There are parts of this that I'm not really at liberty to say, but they are necessary to the story and also probably should be brought to people's attention. What you're going to share tonight will not be taken lightly in the dark vampiric realm, as I am going to share information with you that comes from deep inside of a female vampire's temple, and I will give you her name later in the story.
Okay.
Anything you would like to say so far? I mean, he has his whole interview is strong. I mean, it is strong.
Do we really want to give the name of the female vampire? I don't. I don't think I
He
want to know
said it was
that. Don't
very
ask, don't tell.
no. He said it was very
It's
important that I did that when I spoke with him. That was part of the agreement.
okay.
Yeah, yeah, because people, he said, need to know. So lock your
Okay.
doors tonight, guys. If it's foggy, don't leave your window open. And if you're beautiful, then I don't know what to tell you. You're probably in trouble. I'm probably in trouble tonight. But anyways, here we go. Uh, he said, the story is about my life. He said, frankly, it's tragic. He said, it is a tragic story. But at least for the early years, he said, I grew up in a rather extreme environment of abuse and neglect. A truly broken home. Those who've lived through such extreme torment will know that trauma leads to desperation. In the face of hopelessness and suffering, most people will try to find religion, he said. This is going to be controversial. However, many also know that God rarely answers prayers, at least in any way that's immediately gratifying.
Hmm.
He says he's not saying that he does not believe in God, but people want God to do everything for them, and he does not always do that.
Right. God
Around
answers
my
prayers
10th,
at his own times.
right. So he said at around his 10th birthday, I was desperately trying to find hope. He said I needed to find a purpose in my life for what I had lived through. Anything that might bring some life to my hellish home life. I would spend hours on the computer at night. Once everyone had gone to sleep, researching various religions and spiritual practices, I was looking for effing help, but nobody was willing to reach out and help me. All these so called Christians turned a blind eye to me and raised their noses to me whenever the evil people offered to help, fed me, clothed me, and gave me food. I think there's a lesson to be learned there. Everything from Catholicism to voodoo to Satanism. I'd post to numerous chat forums in an attempt to gain information, to gain friends, to gain help, to do something to stop the way my life was. I did not understand why this was happening to me. This is not a pity party. This comes from a person that probably has 5 times your strength and would have no problem drinking you dry.
Hmm.
Anything you want to add? He's very,
No.
just so you know, he is very serious in this interview. I mean, he was to the point, pretty dry humor. Um, it was as if. Does that make sense? It was
Mm-hmm.
an as if interview.
Makes sense. Okay.
Okay, I thought we might have lost some of our people. The chat stopped, or did it freeze?
Oh. I don't know. Is No, it doesn't look like it stopped.
Okay,
Maybe.
because I'm froze here. I've got OCST as the last one.
Yeah, that's what I have. I think
Oh,
they're
there's
all
Tyler.
listening.
There's
Mm.
Tyler. That deserves to be thrown up. Uh, he said one night on a random forum in some obscure corner of the internet while I was hid in my room like I was always hiding, it seemed that my life was mostly hiding. I would hide because if I was seen, then that meant that they had my attention and they would ask me to do something and it would always be wrong and I would always be judged for it and punished beyond recognition. For merely, it almost
Mm.
felt like being alive. They stated, when I spoke to this one forum that reached out to me, they gave me brotherly love. They gave me hope. They texted me all day throughout the day, all night throughout the night. They were there to help me to do anything. They loved me. They cared for me. And then they said, and they stated that their temple, key word, that their temple was ancient, and their teachings could give me the power and strength to overcome my abusive environment and to finally have peace.
Mm. Okay.
There is a
That's
cliche, he
usually,
said. Do what?
as I said, that's usually how they work their way in. Yep. Okay, go on. Sorry.
He said there is a cliche saying that if something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. In hindsight, I should have realized that, but I was desperate. I began conversing with this stranger, learning about his temple, their practices and teachings, and their overall secretive nature. Now, there was a night that I was talking to him on the phone. And while I was talking to these people, keep in mind and try to understand, they sound like people that probably lived in Britain, European accent. They were calm, collective, richy sounding. You could hear them pour their drinks as it sounded like it was being poured from the finest of the dishes. They always had time for me. They loved me. They understood me. Sometimes when I would call them before I could even say a word, they had an answer to my problem that I was already having. It's like they were a part of me. It was like they understood me. They cared about me. And they always had the perfect words to say to make me feel safe, wanted, and loved. On one of the phone calls that I had with them, one of them had told me that he was, in fact, a vampire. And whenever I asked him if he was truly a vampire, he said, I am a vampire, and I come from the long blood of the true vampire, Dracul, not
Hmm.
Dracula, to be not to be mistaken with. It's Dracul. He said, we are the long line of the true vampires. And he said, I asked him, how do I know you're a true vampire? I mean, that stuff's, kind of bullshit, right? And he said he laughed and he said, I understand where you're coming from and why you wouldn't believe this. And he told me, he said, do you see that glass of water that's sitting on your nightstand beside you as we speak right now? And I told him, yeah, it's my glass of water I get every night before I go to bed. He said, move a few feet away from it so that you can't have any other excuses. I want to show you something. And he said, I moved away from it. And whenever I did, the glass of water went from one side of the table to the other and then back to where it was at. At first, I was a little scared. He said, I was, afraid. But then the second thing he said I started wondering was, how in the F did he know I had a glass of water sitting beside me when we was on a regular phone call?
Mm-hmm. That's what I was kind of wondering when you said that.
Yeah, Tyler, you're right. There is a reason why they're in our books and stuff. I believe there's a little truth to everything. You're right. Amber Holmes says Temple of Doom. CRJ says a cult. Tyler, okay, Tyler. Let's see. We got everybody. I want to get everybody's comments up there. I do like to get everybody involved, and moderators keep our people involved and get their feelings and stuff because I always go back and I read the chat afterwards. So that way we're able to see what the comments are in case we miss them. And I started doing something new, guys. After the show, I will tell you what we're doing new on the show. So remind me at the end. And I'll tell you, I'm doing something new on these videos, and y'all will like this. I really do think you will. Uh, After all that had happened, they continued to speak, he said, for a couple of more weeks. And he said, he was still a stranger, to me. And he said that, was really my first experience of talking to somebody that was from what they called the temple. Now, he said, I made a mistake in like what somebody in our chat had said a while ago, a cult. And I asked him if he was part of a cult. And oh my God, did he go off? He said, we're not a cult. We're a family of the purest and strongest bloodline from the oldest days. They do not like to be called the cult. They are, he said, the family of the strongest bloodline, the ones that know everything, that have the knowledge of the old and the new.
Hmm.
He said, after a couple of more weeks of speaking with him, which he was still a stranger to me, I had decided I was ready for my first experience in the temple. They invited him to come to their temple. So after I was invited to go to the temple, they arranged and paid for everything. And I'm not talking about, he said, an Uber coming to pick me up to take me. He said, I'm talking about a full blown Rolls Royce, dark tinted windows, old looking car, the tinted windows. He said it looked like it was straight out of a movie. The finest wines, the finest everything was in this car. He said I was treated like I was majesty. The stranger then had given me the address that we were going to, and I had noticed that the address was in a nearby town where I was to attend some initiation. He even helped me arrange the transportation by telling me that not only was the transportation paid for, but they were going to give me a Cash App card that they would keep plenty of money on it in case I needed anything or help to get away from the people that were abusing me, that they truly loved me and they wanted me to become part of their family. But first, before I could become fully part of their family, they would have to take me to their head person, which they call the father, and he would test my blood and make sure I was compatible.
Hmm.
So, you know, like what, Sharon's saying, they're reeling him in, buying his trust is what Belinda's saying. CRJ says, hey, do me a favor and hit that like button. Well, the sitting authority in the White House. Yeah, I can't post that, Michelle. I about read it out loud.
Mm.
Uh, yeah, you're right, AI mod. There is, and there's one right down from me too. And maybe I'll do a show on that. I don't know if I should do that or not. We'll see what happens with that. So he says I arrive at this address. My initiation was kind of weird. It was anticlimactic, I guess, at first, as it was more like going to meet your girlfriend's parents, kind of. They all act so happy to meet me. They were very nice, very elegant antique dining, very elegant and antique furniture. The house was dark, and the house was lit by nothing more than candles. Now, this is not in the middle of the country. He said, mind you, this is in the middle of town. The outside of the house is beautifully kept. You would never guess that this house was even dark inside. It was like a whole new world when you stepped through that front door, living right inside of the city. So, upon meeting the members of this temple for the first time, I was quick to realize they had more confidence, strength, and very quality that I longed for.
Mm-hmm.
They told me I could not become a full member, though, until I underwent some rituals during the winter solstice, which would make me become a full member. The father, as they called him, had beautiful white hair. They all dressed in black. Seemed to be their favorite color was black and white. And he showed me a little trick to show me. He's like, are you tired of people hurting you? Are you tired of people doing things to you? Look what you could do and what you could become. And he levitated 3 feet off of the ground and to the table we were to have our dinner at. And he looked at me and laughed and said, do not be afraid of what you do not understand. We come from the bloodlines of the old knowledge to the new knowledge.
That's some bad stuff right there. Okay. Mm-mm.
It was the fall at the time, so the solstice was about 2 months away. Regardless, I continued to attend weekly meetings held on Monday nights. The location was changed every couple of weeks. We would go to different houses that were just as beautiful, just as nice, but in different locations. And I was told that these meetings had to be kept secret. And if I read too much into it, or if I told the wrong people, that they would probably find my body in an alleyway like an emptied water balloon. There would be nothing left
Mm.
of me, he said, inside to tell the tale. They told me
Okay.
that they have connections to the highest places, all government entities, all places of power, because he said they are the power.
That's not surprising.
Whenever I would meet them, it usually involved sermons from a book that they called. Now, guys, you do with this what you want. I am not telling you to go read this book, to go find this book. I do not endorse this book. This is merely information that I was given that I am passing on. Okay. It is called The Scriptures of the Delphi. Some random ritual or one on one teaching with one of the priests or priestesses. Occasionally, meetings would be with the high priest, the man who invited me from the forum in the first place. Anything you'd like to add at this point, or anyone in the chat that's listening right now?
Yes, for entertainment purposes only. Christy, yes.
Thank you, Tyler. Yes, this is for entertainment purposes only, as the bottom of the screen also says. You're right, Sharon Arms. There was no turning back at that point, you know. And AI Mod says she would run. She says I was out, you know. And Michelle, yeah, that's crazy, Michelle. Um, the content of these meetings, they said, I thought was really, really strange. They were meetings, you know. It's what they would call them. He said they would call them meetings, but they really wasn't meetings, because to me they was more like rituals. You know, they wasn't really a meeting; they was a ritual. And he said these rituals involved weird things that would escalate, right? And they was usually based on religion and mythology, but the religion they were based on was like it attacked the Christians. The Christians were called the backstabbers. They were the fake ones. They were the false ones. They were the ones that held their nose up at you, that were better than you, that went to church, that drove cars, that wore the nice suits and everything. And if you went to church and you were in rags or whatever, they would snuff their nose at you and you wouldn't fit into their groups. But he said the
That's how
sad
it
thing
usually works.
was, even though I'd been taught better than that, it was truth. He said those were all things I had experienced from being a Christian and raised in a Christian family. Being a Christian was harder than it was to follow the darkness. The darkness accepted me, where Christianity, I felt, pushed me away. These rituals, some of them came as far back as the pyramids. As some of these books they would bring out, I could tell were very old. Some of the words and some of the stories that they would tell and that they would do in some of these meetings or rituals, they were written by forms of pictures. They were just pictures that were written that only the high priests were able to read and were able to interpret. It went from taking a pretty much sugar tester, poking my finger, taking my blood, putting it on a little card to test it to see if my blood was right. And I thought at that time, they're trying to see what kind of blood type I am, is probably what they're doing. And as time went on that day, they actually brought out a wooden box. It was lined in silver. It was beautiful. You could tell that it was old. It was elegant. And when they pulled it out, I'm going to try to explain this to you all so you can get a visual of what he's talking about. He said as they took it out, picture a long needle about this long. And at the end of it, it's like a little ball. And you can see through the ball and you can see through the needle, right? You can see inside of it, kind of like a glass, kind of like glass. They took it, they poked it in his finger, and he said, I watched the blood run down the needle into the ball. And this thing, he said, looked like it had been used many times.
Mm.
They took it over to the guy that they called the father, placed it on his tongue, and ran it across his tongue and out of his mouth, running a line of his blood down his tongue, and he tasted it. And he said, he looked at me and said, "You are indeed family." And he said, what was weird is he said, "You'll work." And he turned around and walked off.
Did he by any chance ever say how these people found him, or did he find them, or stumbled upon, like, did he go into any of that?
Remember, he found them on a forum.
Oh, okay, sorry. I
Yeah.
wasn't paying attention to that part.
That might,
Sorry.
yeah. That's how all this started. Was he was being abused by his family,
Right.
and he was looking for an out. So he went onto these forums online, Christian forums, Satanic forums, and all them. And he was looking
Okay.
for help trying to make friends. And then he ended up making friends with this dude. And this dude was like, "Oh no, we'll help you. We'll take care of you. We love you. We care,
Okay.
right?"
Okay.
AI mod says testing for the Nephilim blood Amber.
That's
It is,
interesting. Hmm.
or innocent blood. Well, he said most people won't believe this until it stares them right in the face. But he ends this encounter with something I think is going to probably raise the hair on everybody's neck. It's pretty amazing what he says. What he says at the end. Anyways, he says the subject would be really vague sometimes, as if they didn't want me to truly understand what was going on. And it was as if they were speaking in code or avoiding saying specifics of things. I'm not at liberty to go in detail, he said at this time, with everything, because there is a common phrase that they use that they draw their power from. And if I were to use that, they would attack my family, I have no doubt.
Hmm.
Then the time came for the winter solstice, and the high priest set me down for one last meeting. This time he didn't really hold back much. He said simply that this ritual I was about to undergo would change everything for me in my life, my relationships, my worldview, my strengths, my abilities. Everything was about to change for me. His exact words, he said. And he said, I want your people in your chat to remember this because it's important. He said, I'm going to
Okay.
open your third eye and you're going to become enlightened to the real reality.
What if I don't want that? Okay, go on. Sorry. There's some things, in this field I've just discovered, like, I'd almost rather not know. And okay,
You should have talked to him.
I'm glad you did. That's
It
okay.
was really scary, I guess, maybe. I mean, it really like had my attention. I mean, because
Yeah.
he told this as if.
Well, and a lot of the stuff that even what you're saying so far, it resonates with many other experiences and stories that I've heard from other people talking about the stuff that goes on behind the scenes and how deep things have gotten within. I mean, yeah, even with our government and other organizations and the secret societies. So I totally, I'm not believing this right now at all. I
You're not believing it, or you are believing it.
No, I said no, I'm not believing it. I do believe this. I
Uh,
so far I believe this 100%.
I'm not
Yeah.
used to that Wisconsin talk, so sometimes I have to ask you.
Yeah, no, yeah. Yeah, no, yeah.
So I know, yeah, no.
No,
Squeaky cheese.
that no, yeah, no means no. Yeah, no, yeah means
Oh,
yeah.
squeaky cheese. Anyways, he just texted me. He is in the chat if anybody wants to know. And he said, I'm doing a good job so
Mm.
far. So
Mm.
he also solemnly said that it would come at a cost. He also warned that the ritual itself could be the end for me, and that it claims the lives of about 75% of those that undergo this ritual. I asked him questions for a while, and eventually he opened up. The ritual would either make me a vampire like him, like the rest of the temple members, or I would die and they would consume my blood and I would be left in an alley as a runaway. And they had no problem, they said, getting that to pass.
Wait, I probably distracted you. So you were going to say something, and then I distracted you. So I don't think you ever said what it was that was going to open up or enlighten. Or was that the part?
That was the part. He said, he said, there's something that's going to happen. He said, it's very important, and your viewers and everybody need to understand this and listen for these words when people talk. Opening the third eye and enlightening you to the reality that you truly live in. He said, whenever
Oh,
this happens to you, and if you don't die when we do this, you're going to see the world for what it really is. And he said, it's all just going to hit you at once. You're going to understand things people don't know. He said, the knowledge is going to pour into you like you have never felt before.
okay.
The
You know,
old and new.
that's interesting because there's been a lot of um, content creators that have saying exactly that as well. That they've been pushing
Really?
things out like that. Mm-hmm.
Well, that's
Yep.
interesting because he says in the next thing right here, he told me trying to get people to open the third eye and to become aware, self aware of what's around them doesn't just happen in the high places. It's very prominent in the YouTube channels, especially the cryptid channels that you're in, Mike. Some are already bought and paid for. They are paid to cause people to become deceived, deception of Christ, of what Christ really is, where you actually come from, to confuse you at who your creator is, to teach you the wrong things, to show you the wrong things, to show you the dark arts and the battle of the seed and the battle of the blood, because the life is in the blood. And then he said, be forewarned of who you listen to and what they teach. Listen to their words, he said, because they come from old. And I asked him, I said, what do you mean this is coming from the old? I said, I don't understand. Is this old books? Is this, and he said, no, demons. The
Yep.
knowledge comes from the demons. He said, do you really think everybody that's preaching right now in these churches and stuff that's preaching wrong and doing wrong? He said, YouTubers that are on there preaching wrong, it's all of a sudden became about God, but they're not godly. He said, all this stuff is demons. He said, they've always been here. He said, what? And then he goes into deeper things that I'm not supposed to talk about. I wasn't even supposed to go into that, the demon part. So there you go.
Well, I mean, we've been talking about that. I mean, not necessarily to do with this story or this, but that's one of the things that we've been dealing with ourselves from other places. I mean, everybody that's been following here knows. Yes, very true. 100%.
Michelle's 100%.
Mhm. No, well, don't
We'll
open
see you
your
in a
mind to the deceiving spirits, but yes.
right, right. We'll see you in a second, Tyler. Yeah, you need discernment, Wolf Lady. That's true. Pray for discernment.
Mhm.
So, this is where he said I began to get scared, but the powers that I seen that these people had, he said, I truly, truly, really, really wanted. He said their lifestyle, the way they move, the way they drink, the way they hold their cup, their glass, the way they just move about, the way they eat. He said, the way they eat. He said, you don't understand. It's the way they enjoy the food. They savor the food. There's no hurry. There's no hurry. But he said there was something. In every one of the houses he noticed, they all had one thing that was the same:
Hmm.
a wind up clock that had an alarm on it. Not electric. He said they were wind ups, and they were wound at the top of every hour, the 12 hours. He said 12 noon, 12 p.m., or 12 a.m., 12 noon.
I mean, like the 1980s wind up alarm clock that I used to have at my bedside growing up as a kid to make me get up for school in the morning?
I was thinking like a grandfather clock because he was talking about opening the glass front and sticking a key in it and then twisting it in two holes.
Oh, okay.
And he said the
Hmm.
reason for the clocks were it was important for them to know what time it was. Time is important to them.
Hmm.
Everything they do, he said, is by time. They eat by time. They have their drink in the afternoon at a certain time. They have their meetings at a certain time. They do everything by time.
Okay.
So he said, this is where it starts really scaring me. He says, ultimately, I came to the conclusion that I didn't really have much to lose at this point. My mom and dad, they didn't love me. I had no family that loved me. At least these people loved me. At least they cared about me. They bought me new clothes. I had good food. I had nice shoes. I had a place to sleep. And every night, whenever I would stay with them, they would send me from family to family. But my God, they were so gracious. Cookies, food, milk. The linens were changed every night for my bed. He said they live immaculately, so clean. They're so clean. And he said, I figured at the best the high priest was right, and I would become some creature of the night. And I can finally stand up to my abusers. At worst, it'd be the end of things. And death really didn't scare me anymore because, to tell you the truth, I was more afraid of life than I was death at this point in my life. Hello, T-Bone. Good to see you. So I'm taking it he had a really depressed, really hard life up to this point.
Well, and yeah, I mean, anybody that's been, beaten down to a point of despair, it's very easy to, I mean, if you, and again, I know it's not a cult, but most cults in the past were very easy. It was easy for them to manipulate people into joining their groups and following them
Right.
that were, you know,
And
beat
I
down
would
and
like to
destroyed.
reiterate too that we're not calling vampires a cult. We're not doing
Right.
that.
I was just I was
Or I'm
just
not.
saying as an example. I'm not. I'm just saying as an example. It's easy to manipulate people that have been, you know,
Ah, Dana
yeah.
Ortega is here.
Mm,
Did your
hello,
mouth get a
Dana.
little dry? Oh, exuberance. No. Hello, brother. But no, I mean, yeah, I need to have him call you if he would do that. We'll see. We'll see. That way you can engage. I'm telling you, it
What?
was a life changer for me.
Okay.
He said, I'd been chronically suicidal for years at this point with multiple failed attempts. And no, that's not true. Some people don't just try to kill themselves for the attention, he said. Sometimes we just don't have the power to push it all the way through because even though you're trying to kill yourself, your body still has a survival mechanism that doesn't allow you to go complete with some things. He said, death didn't even seem like that bad of an option at the time. In hindsight, I should have thought things through a little longer, but I ultimately agreed to continue on with the ritual. This is where it really started getting intense for me listening to him. He said, I'm purposely going to admit the details of this ritual are unnecessary for the story and probably will save you and Jesse a lot of problems by me not going into the particulars of the rituals. So he's not going to go
Thank you for
deep
that.
into it because, yeah, he said that knowledge can be dangerous for people to know things that they shouldn't about this stuff.
Appreciate that.
He said, firstly, because I don't want anyone also, he says, to attempt this or to try it at home also. Secondly, I'm not at liberty to discuss that. However, I will say it involved a lot of pain and a lot of blood that was drained from me. It took me days to recover. I'm not entirely sure if I died and came back or if the extreme blood loss, among the other things, just made me lose consciousness and it simply felt like I had died. But I visited other places. I visited my friends' houses. I visited my mom and dad while they were arguing in the kitchen. I visited places that I'd been in the past when I was young, all the way up until now. And the weird thing is, I visited a place that I knew I had been before. These things were so real. It's like I was really there. In fact, I was so angered at my dad when I seen him in this dream that I had that I slapped him in the face in his sleep because I had never been man enough to stand up to my dad. I was always afraid of him. And I felt at this point empowered. I felt over him, stronger than him, better than him, smarter than him. And I slapped him.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, either way, I had a soul before that night. And if I had a soul that night, it left. Everything went cold. My vitality was gone. Every fiber of my being felt like it shriveled up and caught fire. I regained consciousness shortly after dawn on the third day following that morning. Hence, Passover, 3 days.
Well, that's the typical. That's also the typical story in any vampire lore stories, TV shows, books. It's always the 3 days. They die and they come back after the 3 days, or they are buried. And so I find that interesting. I mean, again, it goes. Well, I always think back to, well, these stories and these lores come from somewhere. I think that they come from some type of truth. And then you hear a story like this, and it kind of reiterates all of that as well. Hollywood and books and stories, they're coming from somewhere.
It looks like K Dog's got something pretty interesting going on in chat also. So K Dog, if you'd like to email me about that, I'd like to hear about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll let you finish discussing it with the moderators. They'll be able to help you a lot too. They're pretty smart. They're about half as smart as I am. No, they'll be able to help you.
You are.
So
Oh.
he says the temple members in attendance. As I woke up, and I'm telling you guys, this freaked me out listening to this on the phone. I mean, it was hard for me to do. I'm going to tell you the truth because I told you all I'll be truthful and transparent with you at all times. I
Can I
almost ended
interrupt
this
you really?
interview. Huh?
Can I interrupt you really quick? I do want to interrupt
I
you really quick.
I
Sorry.
guess.
Dana just said that Connie is home. She has 24/7 nursing care and to keep praying for her. But I just want to say that that is so wonderful, and I just got chills. God is good. I'm so glad to know that she
Good.
is home. So a little
Dana,
bit
that is
of
awesome
light in the darkness of the stories. So that is
news.
very, very good. I'm very happy to hear that.
God is good all the time. Glory to
Mm-hmm.
God. Um, he says whenever I woke up, they had drained so much blood from me that my body was so white that I barely recognized myself. They all drank my blood until he was almost dead. They take you to a point in that ritual to where your body will either survive or you'll die while they feast on you. The temple members, whenever I woken, I was wrapped in the most elaborate, white, beautiful liniment you had ever seen. You could tell that it was old, but it was as slick as ice, as smooth as a gem. Beautiful. I was swaddled in it, perfectly wrapped. And as soon as I woke up, all of the people in the temple burst into a celebration. They were clapping their hands. The noise was so great that he said it started inducing me to have a migraine. All of a sudden, I could hear everything so much louder than I could before. The pain I was in must have been obvious as everyone went silent fairly quickly. The high priest helped me to my feet and welcomed me as a brother. I was part of the family now. I could hear mice running inside of the walls. I could hear the wind blowing through the cracks in the windows. I could hear the fly flying in the kitchen. I could feel my clothes touching me all over my body. I could feel everything. I could hear everything. I was alive. Like somebody had turned on a switch to where everything around me became part of me. Anything you would like to? Good night, Lisa Ann.
Yeah. Good night, Lisa Ann. Um, I mean, not to make it any less meaningful, but I mean, that sounds like I'm not trying to make a joke, but it's almost like on the spectrum at some point. I mean, that's very strange, and I get it that he's expressing that everything was so much more enhanced, but yeah, that's kind of makes me wonder too. All the different
Right.
like could there I don't know that's a whole nother my mind is going, my ADHD is going, so now I'm thinking along um, very strange possibilities and thoughts and
You know,
concepts and stuff that's probably not good to be talking about on the channel.
and as devil's advocate, I would even come and say that is there a possibility that it wasn't anything that was enhanced? It was his state of being and coming back from a near death experience that would feel that way. I'll be right back and I'll let you answer that. I got to do something real quick.
Okay. I mean, it could be. It's it almost makes me think like, okay, for example, I don't like taking pain medication for the simple fact that like when I had my daughter, they gave me like Percocet when I came home. Um, but I think I took it for like not even a full day because I realized that when that stuff wore off, I realized how much more pain I was actually in compared to before when I was just used to it. So that would kind of make sense, I guess, having such a near death experience and then being brought back, um, having that increased sense of your senses, sight, feeling, touch, sound, all that stuff. If that makes any sense to anybody? What you guys think? Yeah, exactly, Ron. It's a whole nother can of worms. I'd rather not go down that one. Hey, Mike is on the spectrum. Well, that's probably another whole can of worms. I'm just joking. Uh, and I'm not quite sure if all of the comments are regarding the story. Hey, Larry, good to see you. How's it going, buddy?
Hey, Larry, good to see you. Hey, moderators, if you would, could we get K Dog my I just posted it in my Gmail. I would really like to talk to him and help him. Even if you don't want to come on the show, K Dog, I'm there to help you. And if I can't help you, I will put you in touch with somebody that can help you. Okay. So just asking you, reach out to me, and I will help you any way I can, or I will get you in contact with somebody that can help you. Okay. Don't be afraid to reach out. And if you want to keep it, confidential, we can keep it confidential. But just reach out to me. Um, he explained that the vampirism wouldn't take full effect for a few days. He told me in the meantime, he said I would experience a lot of new things. He said that I would feel a little better after I got something in my system. I explained to him that food sounded revolting at that moment. He simply chuckled and walked over to me, and he walked over to a woman in the crowd of spectators. If anybody wants to leave, now may be the
Mm.
time.
Hmm. Is there just a little blip that maybe they could mute it for a second if they don't want to hear something?
It's going to go down a trail. This is where he
Okay.
said it's probably going to piss off the vampires. She was probably in her mid to late 20s and very pale, and she was very underweight. She had a part in her forearm with some surgical tubing hanging out of it, like an IV that had been cut off. The high priest made a gesture to her, and she dropped the end of the tubing in a glass and opened the port via a valve. I believe the medical term for this is an apparatus is a butterfly or butterfly valve, if anyone is curious. Now, I'm sure most people who read this will be revolted by the idea of a glass of fresh blood. Normally, I would have been too. But in that moment and every moment since, I can't really resist such a thing. I imagine my inclinations towards blood equates to the inclinations of the addict towards their drug of choice. You become addicted. The
Mhm.
first glass was perhaps the best glass I've ever had. I believe that's mostly because of the novelty of the moment. If any of you have ever tasted human blood before, you're probably familiar with the tasting really metallic or like a penny in your mouth. Admittingly, it still had that metallic note as an aftertaste, but the first time the flavor just exploded in my mouth. I
Hmm.
mean, after all, you are swallowing that person's life force. And if you're a Christian, Jesus tells you that life is in the blood, so don't call me a liar. So,
Mhm. I can't imagine. Like, I've cut myself before, and your first reaction is to stick it in your mouth. And I mean, it doesn't
right.
bother me. Okay, it's my own blood, but I couldn't imagine drinking. uh, The thought of it makes like the bile come up in my throat. It's I couldn't imagine. Ugh. Yes, AI mod.
I want to leave that up just for a second since she put that up for him. K Dog.
Mhm.
I could taste so many things about her. And in that glass, it felt like I had known her for years. It's really hard to explain, Mike, and I don't expect you all to understand. And really, I don't care if you all do. Because to be blunt, if we're drinking your blood, it really doesn't effing matter to us if you believe it or not. As the morning progressed and the sun began to rise, I became to get incredibly ill. The migraine it worsened. I began to vomit, tremors, chills, and I'm fairly sure there was even a few seizures in the mix. I had blackouts, I'm not real sure. The high priest took me home and recommended I get rest. He warned me to stay away from people and pets for the immediate moment. Mm. That bothered me. I remember that part. In my illness, I heard him, but I didn't really take his warning to heart. Despite the events of the morning so far, I was still pretty unconvinced that I was anything more than dangerous than I ever was. I mean, you still have that little bit of doubt, that tells you this is bullshit. It was just a
Mm-hmm.
ritual, that you're not a vampire. I wasn't any more than I was when I first came, right? I was just accepted, right? I went inside and I walked upstairs and I lay down on the floor and I passed out. Once again, I was in such an extreme state of unconsciousness that I felt like I was dead. Physically, I felt dead and even disconnected from my body. But in that state, mentally, I was still fully aware. I could think, have an inner dialogue, and even feel emotions. Now, here I'm going to tell you all something that's going to piss a lot of people off in the chat. But I'm going to give you all some old knowledge that I was told not to share with you guys by the vampires that comes from the old. And I'm going to share something with you guys that hasn't been shared on any channel. I am going to give you all knowledge from the old that comes from before the pyramids, that comes from the fallen, and from the light bearer. We know who the light bearer is.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you have what people call sleep paralysis and you see what people call the Hat Man, that is simply a delusion or a deception. I am here to tell you the truth and speak the truth, and to tell you from the bloods of the first blood spilled, of the first blood made, from the first woman to give birth to an abomination.
Hmm.
What you see in your room is not anything that has came to your house, sought you out, or is attached to you. Your mere paralyzation by laying in the bed and seeing the Hat Man approach you in your bed is the demon that is attached to you, that is merely trying to enter your body. You've had a dark soul attached to you. And at that moment, where you're in the sleep paralysis, it is not a man that came to find you. It is a man that is attached to you from somewhere, wherever you picked him up, whatever you done, whatever allowed him in, he has followed you. And at that moment, for some reason, in your sleep paralysis, you are weak and he is trying to enter your body. You fighting him off, trying to get him away from you, being afraid. That is your spirit rejecting the evil spirit trying to enter your body. There is truth for you that no one knows. It comes from the old. I'm going to get a
Hmm.
drink real quick. So feel free, anybody that has any statements or whatever, I'll throw them up.
They're talking about Hey Dog.
Yeah.
Yes, scared Jody.
Yeah.
Forbidden knowledge makes me thirsty.
More like Cottonmouth, because whenever he said all that, I know what he's talking about when he talks about the first blood born of the woman from the fallen of the abomination.
Mm-hmm.
He's talking about the Nephilim.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that is their family bloodline. They all come from the same thing. What did the shamans tell me? It's all the
They're all
same
the same.
thing. They just look different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He told me that whenever we went to continue, he said, I'll omit the next part of the story due to its unpleasant nature. I'm sure the astute amongst you can mentally fill in the gaps yourself. Though in the aftermath of things, I finally realized that the high priest meant when he said I could overcome my abusers.
Mm-hmm.
I overcame a lot that night. I called the high priest and explained things that night. He took me in. I was no longer welcome at the house I was at after events of that night, so the temple was happy to take me in. Ever since then, I've spent my time living in the temple, traveling between chapters, studying here and there in the temples, and occasionally slipping up and causing some unpleasant incident here and there. Sometimes, hell, you get thirsty and you don't want to go back home for a drink. And what's a couple of homeless people, right? Most of my needs are fulfilled by willing participants like the one the first morning. We have people that don't ever change, that just are what we call feeders, that live with us in our houses, and they're well taken care of, given everything they want, nice clothes, elegant meals, elegant linens. All they have to do is just feed us from the tubes in their arms. But occasionally, when I'm out in public, well, sometimes the hunger will take over. My story continues on, and I've omitted many details that could get me caught and arrested. As you know, I am a wanted man. My mom and dad no longer live.
Okay.
I've done this mostly as to not incriminate anyone and then to not bore the disgust readers with the details of certain circumstances. If there is a desire for full acknowledgement about the Temple of Selene, is her name, the Temple of Selene, then I tell you now, and hear me now, he said, and for me to read this to you guys this way, that I come from the pure and of the old and of the purest blood and of the Temple of Selene and of Dracul. I live in Britain, and I have just visited Indiana in the United States, and I am now back home in Britain. Thank you all, and I want everybody to know what you have read is real, and we do exist.
Hmm. Interesting.
So there you have it. That's what I received. You
That
didn't
was
expect that
interesting.
tonight.
Ah, no. Uh-uh. So many questions that I just
Like, what
can't.
would be one that you would wonder?
Nope.
Throw it out
I
for
can't.
discussion.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No, I can't.
K Dog, K Dog, sir, K Dog 152. If I send you a link, would you like to come on the show and talk to us about what's going on with you, bud? I can throw you a link and you can download StreamYard and we can bring you right on. You don't have to show your face, but if you'd like to come on and talk with us, I'd love to have you on.
Sharon says, "Me too, Jess. You have so many questions or things that you would like to say, but you just can't at the moment." I don't want to
If any,
incriminate. That's where I'm kind of stuck. I don't.
it, and if anybody in chat has a question you would like to come on, I will have the link posted. Anybody and everybody is welcome to come on and discuss or give an opinion because I mean, I don't know about this any more than you guys do. I'm not an expert. Like I said, I'm just passing on information that was given to me. I do not endorse this. This may not be my opinion, and it's definitely not my belief. But it is what it is. I mean, that's the best way to say it. It is what it is. There truth to it? Biblically, yeah. Is all of it true? I don't know. You know,
It matches with a lot of different things that I've heard, even old stories that I've heard before social media and YouTube and all this other stuff. Um, I mean, it just kind of puts things into place at this point. Um, but yeah, I have some off air
like if you could
questions,
ask
I
this
guess.
gentleman, wait, he just sent me something. He said that I can tell Jesse that you can address him by the name of Vorik, and it's okay for you to know his name. His name is Vorik, and I'm to give you his name.
Okay.
So if you could ask Vorik anything right now, what would be your question?
I guess. Well, my question would be at this point: is this something that he is forever? Like, is there no? I know there's the point of no return, but is there? I mean, he still has breath in his lungs. Is there
I don't.
a way
Yeah, I'm going to
out other
disagree
than?
with. Yeah, because there's a channel out there right now. Let me fix my camera. I gotta rest my back, guys. I'm old. Uh, there's a channel out there that says that people are born without spirits and some people are born unforgivable and stuff like that. I don't believe that to be true. Jesus died for everybody. If you're human, you were born of the water, then you are forgivable. The only thing that I've ever heard is whenever Enoch went and asked for the Nephilim if they could be forgiven, they are not forgiven, nor their offspring. As far as us, John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, whoever believeth in him shall not perish but have everlasting life. There is no if you do this, it's plainly stated. So yeah, I think everybody is salvageable, everybody is forgivable, and everybody's redeemable, but you have to come to Christ. You have to ask for it. You have to accept it. You have to believe it by by your works. You have to by your works.
Well, but then what about the fact that he was drained of his blood and given this other blood? Does that mean that his blood has been, I don't want to say tainted, but I mean, was there a line that was passed that he can't go back? And then I almost wonder too, like, I don't know if anybody else in the chat has ever seen these, especially on TikTok. TikTok is notorious for these um, uh, people putting out strange content when they can. But there are a lot of self proclaimed vampires out there that have had their teeth altered. And I mean, there's one that I've seen a couple of times pop up on my feeds that, and he talks about he doesn't drink blood, he drinks red wine. And he's, I mean, so all about the show. I mean, with
Right.
these groups that he's talking about, and these temples, I mean, what do they say about? I think not that I would really care about what these fake people do, but I mean that's got to
Right.
be.
My opinion would be just based on my biblical knowledge and my belief would be nobody is past the point of return. Whenever Christ died on the cross, he took upon every sin. I mean, Christ, when he was on the cross, and I don't know if a lot of people look at it like this. I mean, if you really break it down, when Christ was on the cross, a lot of people say he took upon every sin. And it's easy to sit back and say, okay, God died for our sins. When you break that down, the rapist, the murderer, the person that would do the most awful thing, the serial killer, the most horrible person that would kill a child, that would harm a child, all of those things he was and took upon him and then defeated it. He
Hmm.
took all of that for us. So there's nothing that can happen by the enemy that can't be forgiven by God because by his stripes we are healed and by his death, Jesus' death and his resurrection, that is defeated. By his resurrection, death was overcame for us. The keys of hell were taken by Jesus himself. So there is no authority over the darkness over Jesus unless you give it to him. You see, nobody goes to hell. No human goes to hell because God sent them there. You go to hell because you choose to go there. Hell wasn't made for us. Hell was made for the demons. If you
Right.
go to hell, it's because you've chosen hell because God has already done the most painful, most agonizing, most horrible act that we can't even fathom or imagine for us, that we don't even deserve it, that we fall short of the glory of God every day. and through his grace and through his love, we're able to be forgiven. So all glory to God and all power to God. These darknesses have no power over him, and I plead the blood over them because
Mm-hmm.
the power is in the blood, and the blood of Christ covers it all. And that's my opinion.
Um, well, yeah, so that was like Janny the Wonder Woman. Would you be forever bound and with no redemption? And that's kind of where.
I don't believe so. I don't believe there is a forever bound. There is no redemption. We have one unforgivable sin, and that's blasphemy of the Holy Ghost. But if you look into blasphemy of the Holy Ghost, you really can't blaspheme the Holy Ghost unless you're unless you're a non-believer. Because in able to blaspheme Jesus and to say that he's not God and he didn't create everything, well, then you would have to be a person that didn't believe in Jesus. Because a saved person, they can't say he didn't do that because they know he done it. So a saved person can't really blaspheme him. It's a person that doesn't believe, that truly gives God no credit for his works. That is the blasphemy, because if you don't accept him, that is unforgivable. And what is sin? The cost of sin is death. And if
Mm-hmm.
God, Jesus died for that death, and he defeated that for us, if we don't give him the opportunity to cover us in our death, then we're lost. So as a believer, I don't believe that there is no redemption.
Hmm.
Christ overcomes all. There is all things Christ
Yes.
overcomes.
Yes.
Well,
I
or I
agree.
should say,
Um,
Christ already overcame it. I don't want to say that he has to
yes.
now, because he's already done it. Satan's defeated. He's already defeated. He was defeated at Calvary. It's already done.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
That's just my opinion based on what I have read and my beliefs and how I interpret the word. That's how I believe it. It feels right when I say it. It feels right. I get the feeling that it feels right.
Well, and I mean, there's something to be said about the fact that so many, I mean, people always, I mean, I don't want to say always, most people, especially nowadays, strive for that, again, instant gratification. If, to pray for something and over again and not seem like they're getting any answers, it's so easy for them to look in another direction to actually get an answer, get a response, whether it be from a satanic type group or um, by nefarious means of their own hands.
I've
And there's so much push towards that it makes me wonder. I mean, not that I wonder because I know, but there's so many people in higher positions of authority too that I've been saying for years. I know that they're not. They work in evil ways, whether they realize it or not.
right. You know, I don't want to go deep down this because it will just cause issues within the community. But I've noticed that there is an individual that takes pride in attacking the homeless. And I've wondered and wondered and wondered, why does he take such pride in attacking the homeless? And when you think about it, he attacks children, he attacks homeless, he attacks those that are down, that are weaker than him, that ain't able to defend themselves. He attacks the very ones that God tells us to uphold, to protect, to help, and to give them meaning in life. God tells us to do those things. So if you're such a good person and you're such a preacher of the word of God, then why are you attacking and hating the very ones that God tells us to defend?
Mm-hmm. Well, and I mean, these individuals that are out there doing this are the same ones that a few months ago were ones that were saying that Jesus did not die on the cross. And there are so many people that are following these individuals. It, it breaks my
They're
heart. I've said this over and over again. It's one of the things that breaks my heart every single time I hear it, because so many people are following blindly and not even questioning the people that they're listening to tell them these lies about the Bible and God. And it's, I don't
well.
even know
Whenever
what to
you,
say. It kills me inside. All
what I
these people
found
that are.
out, when you drop the anger and you drop the pain and you lay it at the feet of God and you take a step back and you look at the situation through the eyes of how God wants you to look at it, you've already beat them. I mean, look how miserable they are. Look how angry they are. Look what they do to God's word. Look how they live their lives. To
Mm-hmm,
them, it's all about destroying people. It's not about lifting nobody up. Their
mm-hmm,
friends or their future enemies, you know?
mm-hmm,
And I look at it as, if your cup is running over, right? Here you go, Dana. Here's your one. Dana's going to love this. Whenever Jesus runs your cuppeth over, you don't let it spill on the ground. You call your friends and you tell them to bring their cups, because you share that blessing.
mm-hmm,
Share the blessings. And a lot of people right now are just let that cup just run over into the ground because they would rather waste it than to help somebody. And, like the old saying, it doesn't take anything from a burning candle to light another candle. You don't lose the fire, you don't lose nothing
mm-hmm,
from it. All you do is light it. And that's what we need to do more in this community.
mm-hmm. Yes, I agree.
And, I never would have known that if I wouldn't have done this channel, that a lot of this stuff exists like today. This blew my mind. And, the Bray Road we're doing tomorrow night, it blows my mind because she said there is so much more to that people don't
Mm-hmm,
listen to. And she said, Mike, I hope that your channel is able to get that other part out there. She said, you seem to have a way to push things, if it's good or bad. People hear it, but you never know how it comes. Sometimes I'm attacked for it, sometimes I'm not. But maybe we can get it out there and at least make a difference in it. But I don't know. Did K Dog ever say if he wanted to come on tonight? I never seen if he said anything.
no, I didn't see.
Does anybody else in our chat, would you like to come on tonight and give an opinion or talk about, you know, what we talked about tonight, or give a statement or anything? If you would like to, just say, I would like to come on in capital letters, and we'll hopefully catch her, to the moderators will. K Dog, if you want to come on, man, you can come on. We'd love to have you on here. I mean, I think OCST left. I was thinking he would probably have an opinion. I was going to let
Oh
him.
yeah, he must have left a while ago. I don't see him on here. And
Harold, are you
Christy,
still around?
it's
Harold.
past their bedtime.
Yeah. Yeah, K Dog, we'd love to have you come on. Jesse can send the, if you want to, Jesse, go ahead and send the link, I guess. Yeah, go ahead and put it out there. That's fine. We're going to throw the link out there. If anybody would like to come on, jump on. You'll come backstage. We'll bring you on the show. You do not have to show your face if you don't want to. But I do believe you have to have StreamYard downloaded in order to be able to use it.
Mm-hmm.
What do we got going on in chat while we're doing that? Let's jump in the chat. I think we're missing some chat conversation. You're right, Dana. I agree with you, Dana. And you're right, exactly. AI Nanny Pam. That's exactly the
Oh
truth.
yeah, he said he'd love to tell his story. Yep.
All
So I've
right.
got the link in. I got the link in there, K Dog.
I think my mom wants to hear his story too. She was all excited.
So
Oh,
click
Roman.
on the K-Dog, click on the link that I put in the chat, and then it'll give you the prompt. And what you're going to want to do is actually open it up through your browser. If you're on your like cell phone, you're going to open it up through your browser. It'll give you that option, and it'll usually say you can open it up through like Facebook or YouTube. I suggest opening it up through Facebook. It's easier. It's been a while since I've had to actually log in. I mean, it just comes up for me now. So
Hopefully, he'll be joining here in just a second, and we'll be able to talk to him and
mhm.
maybe be able to help him. Hold on 1 second. He said, "How do I go on?" He'll figure it out. I think he has to download. There he is. He's on, I believe.
Okay.
Kerwi Koivi Naim. We're going to throw him on, guys, and I ask everybody in the chat, of course, to be respectful to our guests at all times. I know you guys are, but we always try to make sure that everybody has a safe place.
Mm-hmm.
Hey Mike, how you doing?
Hey,
Hey,
K
good.
Dog, how are you?
Good, you?
Yeah,
Oh, I'm
good.
doing good. Do-
Yeah. So
So what you got going on, man?
um to be honest with you, like right now, you know what I mean? Like, it's like I don't know what's going on, but it's like I don't know, it's like a spirit that's like with me, you know what I mean? It's like I don't know, like okay,
Do you
so
feel like
How
it's
so
harassing you or
no,
bothering you,
no,
maybe?
no, 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 so basically it's like right now it's it's like a little spirit, like a little spirit is like she's like upstairs, like she's like, you know what I mean, like cause I live in an apartment, you know what I mean, like apartment, third floor, second floor, first floor, you know what I mean.
okay.
So she's
Uh
like,
huh.
so she, so she's like like up and down, like up and down, you know what I mean. Like she go third floor, she's like she comes and goes, you know what I mean.
Has she been around you often? Like, is this
Yeah,
a
yes,
spirit
Okay.
yes,
that's been
So
okay?
yes, yes. So freaking so check this out, right? So basically, like I was just sleeping, right? And she goes, "Hey, wake up!" I'm like, who is that? Like she goes, I
mhm.
talk about like I'm dead asleep, right? And she like tapping me. She goes, "Hey, wake up!" Like, and I'm looking around like, who the fuck? Who is that? Like, you know what I mean? So like I'm going crazy, right? So
No, you're not crazy.
a
No,
couple weeks
you're not
later,
crazy.
right? So it's like 2 weeks later, my brother, my boy goes, we just hanging out, and we heard a voice goes, "Daddy," she goes, like a voice, like a girl, like a little girl's voice goes, "Daddy," and my brother goes, "Katie, who is that?" And my brother goes, "Yo, you heard that, right?" Like, yes. She's behind the door, right? We open the door, there's nobody there, right? So we close the door again, boom, "Daddy." It's like the voice is so clear. It's like behind, like, like a wall, right? It's like, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like the voice is like it's there, but it's like I don't know how to explain it, though. It's like it's it's clear as day. Like the voice is like clear as day. It's like she's there, but it's like, damn, who is that? You know what I mean?
So
Right.
it's coming
So I
from
want to
like
ask you a
with.
question.
What's that? What's up?
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Mike.
Oh, I was just I want to ask. I want to ask you a question. Are you a Christian?
No, 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 no. Nah,
No.
nah.
Would you like to know Jesus?
I'm a Buddhist.
Okay.
Buddhist.
Buddhist,
Buddha. Yeah, yeah,
right? Would
yeah.
Would you like to know? Would you like to know Jesus?
I don't know. Yeah,
I think
so,
that
like,
he is going to be the. He's going to fix your. I think he will fix your issue.
hey,
But
Mike,
that
right?
that's totally up
Hey,
to you, though.
Mike, Mike. Okay, yo, I'm gonna tell you like something crazy right now, right? You know, The Grudge. You know the Grudge. The movie,
Oh yeah.
The
Mm-hmm.
Grudge.
Uh huh.
They go with the fucking long hair, the long hair, the long
Mm.
hair, fucking shit,
Right.
right? So check that, right? So, oh my god, yo, I fucking till this day right now, till this day, I'm like, yo, that. So I fucking I was I was in bed, right, right, in bed. I'm like
Hmm.
the the TV's on, the AC on, like so I felt like something was on top of me, right, top of me, right. So I looked
Hmm.
over, yo, that fucking I don't know, fucking that girl with the long hair with the teeth, yo, she was fucking
Uh huh.
screaming, like just screaming at me. I don't know why. She was like just screaming, right? Like I was fucking crying. I was fucking crying to my mom. I'm like, Mom, what you? Like I could have moved or yell to my parents. Yo, yo,
Right.
that fucking the fucking that fucking head, the girl, the long hair. Yo, she had sharp ass teeth. She was fucking screaming at me.
It
The fucking
sounds more
the scary
demonic.
the scary part. She was like peeking through my blanket. She's peeking through my blanket. She's like, you know what I mean? She's like screaming, boom, go back, come back again. She was screaming like she was like, you know what I mean? She was like broad daylight. It was like what? It was broad daylight too. That shit was fucking
Um,
scary.
I see Dana said that I don't know because I didn't see all of the chat earlier, but Dana said that your family rebuked the little girl in Buddha's name.
Uh,
What happened there?
I'm not sure because as in day like I think that that spirit is still here. You know what I mean? It's
Mm-hmm.
like no because no she's not like you know what I mean? She's like not humble, but she's like looking for her dad. I don't know like her dad is like, "Daddy, dad," like just dad, like, "Dad, where are you?" You know what I mean? Okay, like Kevin, is that like my brother? Is that your son? Like, no, that's not my son. You know what I mean? Like, she's like, "Daddy," but it's clear as day. She always asking for her dad. Like, her dad, like, what the
So
fuck? Like,
so you think this is like the a past child from
yes, 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 yes.
okay.
I think that because my neighbor upstairs they moved out because her their their kid got haunted by a little girl. So I don't know.
It,
I don't know. I don't know. If it makes sense.
did this start
Was that?
did this start upon moving
Yes.
into the place that you're currently at?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. 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 Because I seen her like I seen her for just it's like real quick. You know what I mean? Like boom, she was there. Like boom, she's gone. You know what I mean? Like she's not like my downstairs neighbor's like, "Hey, Katie." like who's running around? Like, I got no kids. You know what I mean? Like my uncle downstairs, my neighbor downstairs, he goes, who who's who, who's running around? I'm like, uh, nobody. He's like, there's little kids running around. Like, okay, so it's that little girl that's running around. So I don't know.
Because demons like to take the form of small children because we are unassumingly open up to children and see them as not a threat. So it's very easy for them to take on that
Yeah,
form to push
yeah,
their way through.
yeah. Just so freaking before this, my sister, right? Her
Hmm.
daughter goes. She goes, Uncle, there's um there's somebody singing like humming behind her. And, and she's like, Uncle, who is that? Like he goes, who is it? It's a little girl like just like humming like singing behind her. The thing is, I never told her nothing. Like you know what I mean? Like she's like this little girl behind her like just like with her like she's there like she's there. You know what I mean? It's like I don't know. I don't know.
Right. So KV, you want this to go away, right?
No. I don't. No, I don't. I don't. But as in day like my parents thought like I was going crazy. You know, like my parents thought, yo, Katie, you're crazy. Like no, I seen her. I heard her. Broad daylight. Like she's there.
Or you know she's not good for you, right? She's not there to be your friend.
Hmm.
Yeah. I don't know.
She's she's deceiving you. She's tricking you. Okay, it's not a little girl.
Yeah.
Is it okay for you if I pray for you? Do you mind if I prayed for you? Could I pray for you?
Yeah. 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 You pay for me.
Is that okay with you?
That's okay. Yeah.
Okay. Uh, Father, I would pray that you would come to KV and you would show him your strength, your love. I'd pray that you would come upon him, God, and you would show him the right path, God, to find you. I'd pray, God, that you protect him and open his eyes, God, and give him discernment to what is deceiving him. I pray, God, that you would send your angels, as Psalm 91 says, and you'll protect him and place him under your wing, God, that he will be protected from this evil. I pray, God, that you will cleanse his home, that you will place your blood upon his door as you did whenever death first came to take the first child, God. I pray that you give him the strength and the knowledge to pursue you, to find you, to know you as the one and only Lord, the one and only King. Lord, I pray that you will just be with him and his family and give him peace, and to let whatever is there, God, be cast out in your mighty name, in Jesus' name, for it to know that it is not welcome there. And God, bring him to you and let him know you and allow him to find you and to give him the knowledge to be able to find you. We pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Hey, Mike.
KV,
Thank you.
if you ever need help, if you ever need help and you want to find Christ and you want to know Jesus, you reach out to me. I don't care what time it is, and I will help you find him.
Yeah. I mean, right now it's crazy right now.
What happened?
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
it you're very welcome. Did it go away?
Huh?
Uh,
Did it go away?
what were
Did the little girl leave now?
No. She's here, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Hey, Mike. You have
Uh-huh.
Facebook? Do you have Facebook?
Yeah,
Facebook?
Stephen Michael.
See, Michael. All right. Hey,
Uh-huh.
uh, I'm gonna show you a picture of her. Yeah, that yeah. This logo, fucking long ass
Okay.
hair. That's
All right.
crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you'll
yeah.
okay, yep, you can reach me there, or Abnormal Investigations is a Facebook also. You can
Hmm.
apply there,
I
and then the moderators will accept you into the group.
yeah. Thank you. But yeah.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yep.
All
You're
right, that's
very
it.
well. You're welcome, man.
You know what I mean, Mike? Thank you for fucking having me on here. That's it.
Thanks
My
for coming
pleasure.
on. And
Anytime I could help
yeah.
you, man.
Thank you, Jess.
Yeah, God bless you, man. God bless you, and I look forward to hearing
Yes,
from you.
thank you. All right, bye.
Bye.
All right, you have a good rest of your night. Yeah, God bless you. Yeah, I would say that something did not like that prayer. I think something happened. He sounded kind of surprised, but whenever you invoke the name of the Lord Jesus Christ over these enemies, these deceivers, they don't have no choice but to leave. So I mean, I've had to do it
Yeah.
many times, and being a Christian, growing up as a Christian, it empowers you as you get. Dana knows me and Dana. We've talked about it a little bit. You learn later on that they're just powerless against the name, but you got to want it. I mean, you got to find Christ in order for it to work for you, and hopefully he
Right.
will find Christ. And
And I would hope that he comes to the realization that he doesn't want it there. I mean, he said it wasn't something that he wanted gone. So I fear for him because unfortunately, it is only going to get worse. It might start off, you know, a little bit here and there, but it's only going to get worse for him if he continues to let it
it's just like an
take
infection;
over.
it spreads.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sad, but he's a good guy. He sounds like a good kid. Sound like a younger guy, a younger man.
Mhm.
But we just all we can do is we can pray that God will find him and that he'll find his way to God and he'll accept him. And
Mhm.
I mean, he's the only way, the life, the light. That's it. There is no other way except for the Son to the Father. I mean,
Well,
it's pretty plain.
God works mysterious ways, but maybe that's one of the things that helps bring him to God is the fact that he takes that
Right.
that opportunity to allow Jesus into his heart and remove her from him in his home.
Exactly. Romans. That's what I was trying to say earlier. I probably
Yes.
didn't say it as clear enough, but I felt that happened in the prayer. I felt something happened, and then whenever he reaffirmed it, I was like, yeah, I feel like something happened too. I did feel that. So I don't know if anybody else caught up on that, but I could tell that something happened. He even acted like, oh, what happened? Because he was like, oh. But it's
Mhm.
amazing what our God can do. What our God can do whenever He stands up to evil. When our God says, "You ain't welcomed here. You have to leave." There's no negotiations. There's no buts. It's kind of like the old saying, "When I say jump, you don't say how high till you're already in the air." That's our Father. He he has dominion. He's already defeated the enemy. Is he back? K Dog, thank you for coming on. We love having you here. We hope you stay with us, be part of the family. Everybody here loves you. We're praying for you. We're rooting for you, buddy. Um,
He
you're an
said
amazing
sad
man,
face.
and it's only going to get better. What's wrong, K
Mm.
Dog? That's right, AI Nanny Pam. He sure does. He shudders at the name of Jesus, just the name. K Dog, I'll be going out Saturday night at 8:30. Or yes, Saturday. Will I say Saturday? Saturday, yes, Saturday. Sorry,
Saturday.
man. It's been a long day. Saturday at 8:30. I will be out.
Mhm.
We will be boots on the ground. I may go before then. I may do a daytime boots on the ground, maybe, since we're going to be out and about, maybe tomorrow. I think I see a cryptid on the couch looking at me right now. His name's Logan.
Mm.
You can say hi as long as you're not on. They won't do nothing. Tell everybody hi.
Hi, Logan.
You're very
I'm
welcome,
gonna
K
be
Dog.
doing a tent on the ground Friday. Hopefully, that's my goal.
That's mine eventually is to camp. I want to camp that spot where I get the EVPs. That's my plan.
Yeah. Yeah.
The
Not by
shark, the
yourself,
car.
I hope.
Oh yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah. Mm.
That's the way I roll. Sharon Arm said, "Hello, little guy." Guys, I hope you enjoyed the vampire story tonight. Would you all like to do more of these that come in? Would you like to? I guess we could take another poll. Do you all like the breakdowns we do, or do you like the stories better? Because we do the breakdowns a little differently, and then we do the stories where we just read the story and we talk about it. Or would you all like the breakdowns better? One if you like the stories, two if you like the breakdowns. I kind of like them both. That's just me though.
I like them both. Hmm.
There's Lisa. Lisa's back. I thought she went to bed. It's hard to stay away from a good thing when you find it, ain't it? Everybody says both.
Wait, what's
One for
3? Oh,
sure.
it's 3 both.
Yeah, I guess three is both. Everybody says both. Yeah, so we'll continue to do both. And then Saturday night, of course, will be boots on the ground. I'm excited to that. We got all these floodwaters came in, guys. We got more water, so has more things been pushed out? Who knows? You know, I hope they have. I hope we have a good live. Hopefully, we can catch. I want to catch something. That's my goal. Is to catch something on film. That's what I want to do. Oh, it's official now. Dana says both, so it's going to be both. I'm not going against Dana. Definitely going to be both now.
You like to catch something on. Are you talking about fish or cryptid? Because it seems like you're having problems catching fish too.
No, we had fish. We caught fish today.
Oh, you
We was
did?
on it
Okay.
today, wasn't we, buddy? Yeah,
Oh,
we was on it.
I bet Logan caught all the fish.
Yeah, big fish, wasn't it? No, he was mad. He couldn't. We wouldn't let him wade out in the water because it was pretty rough. We
Hmm.
made him stay up on the bank. But tomorrow he's going to get at it. All right, guys, that's pretty much all I got for tonight. We want to pray for Randy though that he gets everything took care of, gets his electric and his internet back on, and everything turns out all right for him.
Hmm.
Uh, so we're thinking about you, Randy. We miss you, Randy. Wish you could have been on tonight. K Dog, we're going to keep you in our prayers. Connie and Barton's wife and everybody else we named tonight. That's pretty much all. And then I'll let you start us out, and then I'll end it, and
Also, pray for
we can go to bed.
pray for pray for Ginny's mom as well. The town that she lives in, she was actually hit by, not sure if it was actual tornado or downburst, but caused major damage in the town and damage to her home and property. So prayers for her.
Man,
Um,
all these people suffering.
yeah, especially with these storms. These storms are horrible. So I'd like to say thank you everybody for being here tonight. As always, we would not be here if it wasn't for each and every one of you. So that being said, thank you. God bless each and every one of you for being here and showing your support. Hope everybody continues to stay safe in these storms. Stay healthy. God bless. And we will see you on the next one. Yeah.
Yeah, guys, I want to thank y'all for showing up tonight. It was kind of a last minute deal where we decided to do it, and as always, with all the storms going around, you can see there is Mr. Larry Fisher's card. That's how you can get a hold of him if you have any roof damage or anything. He'll also help you with your insurance needs. Just give Larry a call. But guys, I want to thank everybody for showing up tonight. It was always it's a fun time hanging out with you guys. If you haven't subscribed to my Wide Open Adventures, I would like to invite you to come over and join us. We're going to be doing a live probably tomorrow, Wide Open. Good possibility. We may do it from down there while we're fishing. So join Wide Open Adventures. Come over, see us, say hello, watch some videos. We'd love to have you. And as always, guys, we love each and every one of you. Without you guys, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing. I got some good breakdowns coming. I got some investigations coming, like you all asked for. They're on the way. They're in the works. I'm working on them as we speak. And as always, I love you, Hunter. Love you, and I miss you so very, very, very much. And I look forward to the day that you come back and we start these adventures again together. We got a lot of making up to do, and we still got to catch every species in Oklahoma, buddy. We're still going to do that. That's still on. That's still game on. We're going to get that
Mhm.
done. And everybody else, guys, thank you so very much. As always, keep your head on a swivel. Don't be something's dinner. That way we can see you on the next one. Good night. God bless. We'll see you later.
Good night, everyone.